Are you smarter than a Master Ball ranked player? This is episode 3 of the series. If you haven't seen the other episodes yet, check out the link on the top right. This is a top 1300 Master Ball ranked game, and this will be a GamingwithPat and DarkTina Mirror Matchup. This is turn 8, our move. No Pokemon has been knocked out yet, but this move and a prior move that I will go over in the gameplay will decide this match. These are the cards that the opponent has used and has 7 cards left in his deck. These are the cards that we used with 6 cards left in the deck. What do we do? Do we A, Red, B, Cyrus, or C, Mars? I'll give you guys 5 seconds before giving you the answer. If you guys need more time, then feel free to pause the video. And the answer is to Cyrus. And I'll tell you why as I go through the gameplay. If you want to skip ahead to the explanation, the timestamp is provided in the description below. We are going second in this matchup, which means we are behind. However, we do have a DarkTina in the active spot, so it does look promising. If you don't know why these are the conditions, then check out my other video where I go through the DarkTina Mirror Matchup. My opponent sets himself up with a great board, 2 Darkrai's and 1 GamingwithPat on the bench. Does not get any better than that. You usually don't need your second GamingwithPat unless you are facing a Gyarados deck and need to pivot around to stall for more time. For my turn, note that I used Professor's Research first and then Pokéball. If you are looking for a specific basic Pokemon, then this is the best order of operation to increase your chances of getting the Pokemon you are looking for. Because Professor's Research allows you to draw 2 cards, and if one of the 2 cards is another Darkrai, then you are guaranteed to get the GamingwithPat with your Pokéball. If you don't need a specific basic Pokemon, then Pokéball first and Professor's Research after is better, since you get to thin out your deck and draw the other cards that are available. So quiz here, do we put the cape on the GamingwithPat or on our Darkrai? Or do we hold the cape for later? I put the cape on the GamingwithPat since I have 1 potion on hand already, so I'm thinking that I should be okay pressuring the opponent while keeping my Darkrai healthy with more potion draws. I also used the cape early since I would have had 5 cards in my hand, otherwise I would be at risk for an opponent's Mars. The opponent gets his second GamingwithPat, but not much else to note on his turn. On my turn, I decided to Sabrina here for a couple of reasons. I wanted him to bring out his Darkrai up front so I can start doing poke damage to his main damage dealer. If the opponent chooses the bench GamingwithPat with no energy instead, then that means the opponent has Leaf, since I can potentially attack with my Darkrai in 1 more turn. And he wouldn't want to expose his GamingwithPat like that unless he had Leaf. Regardless, I want to move the opponent's Darkrai with the Rocky Helmet away from the active spot and potentially use Cyrus later to bring it back, along with seeing what cards the opponent potentially has. Also, if the opponent heals up the Rocky Helmet Darkrai on the bench, that means he has a good amount of potions on his hand to use. Overall, the Sabrina play was great to get information on the opponent's hand. So on the opponent's turn, they use Pokemon Center Lady on the 20 damage Darkrai in the active spot, which means they do not have a normal potion on hand. I use the potion immediately in order to ensure that I am outside of the knockout zone in the event that my opponent has a red. I used the Darkrai poke to prepare my Darkrai to be able to attack next turn with red and to potentially knock out the opponent unless the opponent heals up. The Rocky Helmet is also to ensure that if he does heal up and attack me back, then I can knock out the opponent in the following turn with the Darkrai. The opponent takes a conservative approach on his turn by just healing and preparing his Giratina's 4th energy. So here comes the turn where we need to make our decision on whether to use Red, Cyrus, or Mars. Ultimately, this decides whether we win or lose the game. I already mentioned that the correct decision is to use Cyrus. The reason being is that it's because I actually chose Red, which led to my defeat. Take a look first, and then I'll explain why Cyrus should have been the obvious choice. Ouch, right. We wanted to originally pressure the opponent to have a potion and a red in their hand to win the game, and they got exactly that. When I came back to review this game, I realized I could have done two things differently. First off is using Cyrus instead of red. Unless the opponent top decks a potion, we already confirmed that the opponent does not have a potion on hand. This will leave the opponent requiring a cape in order for his current active Darkrai to survive after attacking me. Had we Cyrus instead, the opponent now would be forced to have a leaf in order to swing the game back to their advantage, since it would take them 2 turns to retreat. Most DarkTina decks only run 1 leaf in my current rank, and can range between 1 to 2 capes and usually 2 potions. So betting on them not having a leaf in their hand was the higher probability play. And during those 2 turns, we could have attacked twice with our Darkrai, knocking their Darkrai out, and sweeping the last knockout with our fully charged Giratina with a red and a Darkrai poke. The second turning point was actually during the time where we had to choose to cape Giratina or Darkrai, or holding the cape in general. Had we chosen to cape the Darkrai first, we would have been pushed out of the KO zone from their Darkrai plus red, and that would have secured the game even without Cyrus, mainly because I was not able to draw my last Pokemon Center Lady. And with the cape, even if the opponent has Leaf, as long as we manage to do poke damage onto the Darkrai with energy before we Cyrus, we still can knock out the Darkrai with the energy when it comes back. And in order for that to happen, we will need to not attack the Darkrai with the Rocky Helmet just yet. Instead, we will charge up the 4th Psychic Energy on our Giratina and wait for next turn to use our Darkrai's attack plus the red plus the poke damage to knock out either of the Darkrai's. And generally, the person who scores the first knockout ends up winning the game, assuming they have a fully charged Giratina to secure the second knockout. Let me know what you guys would have done if you were in my situation for both scenarios. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button, as it helps me out a lot and helps me to continue on with the series. I'll be releasing new videos with the new set coming out soon, so be sure to subscribe and stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one.